this ladder if you can. Lay waste the dreams and plans you planned, and all you had to do is sing. Think of the joy that you could bring. So I sang every wrong at the top of my lungs, but no one's ever listening, 'cause I'm too young to call it a day.
Okay, so we're here at Lincoln Woods parking area
In New Hampshire.
in New Hampshire. Yes.
Yay!
Woo! We made it. It was kind of a hard journey to get here. So it was like an 18-hour drive, and we went through North Carolina, Virginia, West Virginia, Pennsylvania, Maryland, Vermont,
New York.
and then New Hampshire.
And New York.
And New York. And was there another one after New York?
No, Vermont.
Oh, Vermont, and then New Hampshire. So, but the struggle bus was having some struggles.
They got sick.
Yeah, you want to tell them what you got
Yeah.
sick with?
So we were real close, like 9 miles to where we were gonna end our 18-hour drive. It was like 2 in the morning, something like that. And his little battery light came on, and then it died 0.3 miles away from the campground. But it was dark, and we were stuck on a road. And so we called the police, and this nice policeman from the town of Bethlehem came and rescued us, and he called the tow company, and they towed the struggle bus over to VIP, O'Reilly, something like that, and the policeman dropped us off at the campground. And then the next day, the nice campground man, you should go check it out, Apple Hill Campground, they're super nice. He drove us to the car place, and the struggle bus, he had a new battery and a new alternator. But then today we had to go get his ankle joint fixed, his, what's it called, ball joint, and he had that replaced, and so he's okay to go now. But we did cut off half of our trip in the process, the backpacking portion. So now we're just gonna do the Pemi loop. We were gonna do a whole nother loop, but now we're gonna do the Pemi loop.
And we'll show you on the map what that loop looks like later, so you can see what all the trails are like. So, what do you think of the mountains so far, Amber? The White Mountains. Good. I think they're good too. They're definitely steeper than what we're used to. So right now it's what time?
3:23.
3:23 on Tuesday?
Monday.
Monday, August 6th. So we'll keep you posted. So we think we're getting pretty close to the Franconia Brook campsite, and the trees open up to give you this really gorgeous view of the river and the mountains behind it. So it's really beautiful. It's been a pretty easy hike up here. It's on like an old roadbed of some sort, so it's been pretty flat, just a little bit of uphill every once in a while. So you could take a bike out here.
Yeah, we saw a cyclist, a mountain biker.
Yeah, good trail. We're here at the Pinnacle River. Pinnacle.
It's pretty good.
Yes. So we're camping at sites 1 and 2. Huh? We're camping at sites 1 and 2.
It's the same volume.
No, it wasn't. It was
We'll have
louder.
video first, we can decide.
Okay, anyways, we're camping near the river. And we couldn't find sites on the river because people already took them. But we got here at 4:30. So if you want to get a site on the river, and it's Monday, so if you want to get a site on the river, make sure you come really early. But the sites are really nice, and they have a bear box, so you don't have to hang a bag. And they have like a nice privy. And they have a caretaker tent and station, but they weren't there when we got here, so we don't know if there's actually a fee or not, or if there's only a fee at certain points, but we haven't had to pay yet. So anyways, it's a really nice place to camp. This is our campsite, and this is Missy's tent. And then this is our tent. We don't have the rain fly on right now because it doesn't look like rain tonight, so we're gonna keep it ready just in case. And then over here we got the cooking going on. Missy's cooking her favorite Nor. Alfredo noodles.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh, my spoon.
Amber's cooking some rice and a spoon.
Mashed potatoes.
Oh, mashed potatoes. Oops.
There it is.
And then I'm cooking some shells with cheese. Yum.
Okay, it's morning now. We got everything packed up, but we wanted to tell you guys a little bit about the route. So we are currently right here at Franconia Brook campsite. So today, it's Tuesday now, we're going to ford the river right there, and then we're going to come down on this trail, which it's either Lincoln Woods. I think this right here is technically still the Lincoln Woods Trail. And then, that's where we parked, of course, at Lincoln Woods. And then, we're going to get on the Osseo Trail and climb up to Mount Flume. And go up Mount Liberty. We're going to stay right here, this orange one. That's the AT. So we're going to follow the AT up Little Haystack, Mount Lincoln, Lafayette. And then somewhere between Lafayette and the Garfield Ridge shelter, there's supposed to be good places for stealth camping, which, in case anybody is unfamiliar with that, stealth camping in the White Mountains is legal if you do it correctly. You just have to be 200 feet off the trail, and you can't camp above tree line, which basically is where, to my understanding, above tree line is when the trees are 8 feet and under. So there should be some legal spots for stealth camping, and then our backup plan is to go to the Garfield Ridge shelter, which is run by the AMC, so it costs $10 per person per night to stay in the shelters. So we're going to try to avoid paying for that. So that's what we're going to do today. And about an 11 to 13.5 chunk of the Pemi Loop, depending on where we're able to camp. So yeah, it's gonna be a really, really good day. So on Friday or Thursday we come back.
We need to make sure.
Yeah.
Well, so we just crossed the river, and this is a path we took across. It's fine up until about right here, and then the current is a little bit more. And it was up like it was getting our shorts and everything, so we took it really slow. We had trekking poles and I used my hands on the rocks on the bottom, but we made it. Missy got a little wetter as usual.
But then again, we're all pretty much shorter than the average hiker.
Yeah, that's true.
For reference, I'm under 5 feet.
Yeah, and we're both around 5'5", so if the average hiker were to do this, you probably have an easier time than us, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. There's a place over there there's more rocks. We haven't looked at it really, so I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, like walking on rocks kind of scares me anyways in case you were to fall in, so. But we're a little wet, but it's a warm day, so we'll dry off and we won't mind it, I'm sure, as we take all this ascent we're about to take. So good job, ladies. Woo! Yeah, teamwork. So we just saw this man walk across the river like basically effortlessly. So I don't know if we need some more muscles or like
Height.
some more what?
I think it's the height.
Oh, some height,
Balance.
balance, testosterone, I don't know. Practice. So this is the start of the Osseo Trail that we're going to be taking up to gain some elevation with some of these peaks we're on today.
Yeah, we're about to hit the presidential range up that way.
Yep.
So it's gonna be really good.
Yep. We just came up the, what was it called? The Lincoln.
I don't know if it's technically this section of it is the Lincoln Woods Trail, but it's, yeah, the continuation of the Lincoln Woods Trail. We came from, obviously, Franconia Brook.
Yeah. And where we crossed the bridge, we came to kind of like an islandish in the river. We had to cross a small fork to get over to the other side, and then we had to take, like, kind of climb the hill up to the bridge. So I don't know if that is the, if there's a better way. So if you guys find a better way, you can leave it in the comments. But that was the way that we found. So we're headed to, what's the first peak?
I think it's Mount Flume.
Mount Flume.
And I'm too young to call it a day, and I'm too old to have nothing left to say. And I will make you something beautiful each day until I die, or at least I will try. Singing at the top of my lungs, singing at the top of my lungs, singing at the top of my lungs.
So we just climbed up Mount Flume. We have 0.1 miles left to do. But we're pretty close. The elevation here is about 4,240. And I think what we have to get to is like not very much higher than that, so we just have a little bit more climbing. But if you can tell in the video, it's a pretty steep trail. I know it always doesn't look as steep on camera, but it's like in some places we had staircases and stuff, and then this part of it was just like pretty rocky.
Straight up.
Yeah, straight up and rocky. So
How many feet of elevation have we gained so far?
almost 3,000.
today.
Yeah. So it's been a day.
And then our highest point's gonna be Lafayette, which is like another 1,000 above this, something like that.
So today is our day of climbing because we had to
Yeah.
get out of the valley. So once we get up there, we won't have to do as much elevation change. So
It'll be worth it when we get
oh
there.
yeah.
Ow. Sorry.
Did anybody bring their rock climbing shoes? What do you wear? I don't know.
Climbing shoes.
Climbing shoes.
This is where the trail goes.
Yes,
You should
ma'am.
like film us getting up here.
Oh, I'm way ahead of you.
Oh,
I got you. There's Ambro. I don't know if you can see her past my ground pad. It's kind of high. Okay, now I'm going to turn the camera off because I got to come up these rocks.
the trail goes up there. So this isn't quite the top of it.
Oh,
Well, I'll wait and take a picture till we get up there.
wow.
See, wait, are we on the Blue Blaze Trail?
We're on the yellow.
There's a Blue Blaze right there. What is that?
Whoa.
What's that little town right there? You think we drove by that?
This is amazing though. Like, this is really amazing.
And it's just the beginning. Look, there's a person standing on top of that peak over there.
Oh, that's gonna be us.
That is gonna be us. Okay. I guess. I don't know. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
I'd almost rather just let him get around us.
Yeah, that'd be better. Okay, so we haven't updated in a while, but we stayed here at Liberty Springs Campground last night.
Tent site.
Tent site. And here's a little map I think we stayed around site 3 maybe. They had a tarp set up over the actual platform, so that was nice. It rained right when we got here, so we set up our tent underneath it while
That's why we had to go early yesterday.
yeah. We ran into some thunderstorms up on Mount Liberty yesterday, so we, instead of documenting, we were running down, trying to get honest as we can.
Yeah.
So today we're headed out towards Lafayette, and the end goal is, what is the end goal? Garfield shelter?
No, it's that side trail. I forget the name.
Okay,
But something
a
Brook.
side trail.
I think it's Franconia Brook
Yeah.
Trail tent site. Oh, it's the 13 Falls tent site.
So we should have some really good views today.
So that's Flume and Liberty. And now I'm climbing up to the top of Little Haystack. Not sure if I passed Little Haystack and I'm going to Lincoln now, or I think I did. I think up here might be Lincoln. We'll see. This is cool. There's a storm cloud over there though, but it's over there. Okay, so I'm on the top of Little Haystack. It's 1.7 to Lafayette. It says on the sign right here, but the map says it's like 2.5, so we'll see who's more accurate. It's really pretty up here. It's about 10:15 right now. This is amazing. That's where I'm going. There's a bunch of fog, but I don't see any thunderclouds yet. I feel like that looks darker on the camera than it actually is. I'm fairly certain that that is Lafayette. It's 10:30 and oh man, the fog came in. You can't see it. But up there, that's where I'm headed. So I'll see you at the top. So just for some perspective, so obviously I was over there a little bit ago, and let's see if I can find there's a person. Here is a person down here. Do you see the person? That's how far up I just came. Gorgeous, gorgeous. There's my pack. I'm heading that way to Garfield tent site / shelter tonight. Oh, hopefully if there's a shelter, then I don't have to worry about trying to set up my tarp on a tent platform. So maybe I'll get there early and I get a spot in the shelter. Yeah. This is what the trail is looking like. Y'all can see the blaze right there. Just scrambling up rocks, you know. We're not too far away from the summit, actually. It's 10:40 right now. Just kidding. Over there, that's the summit. So I'm going up that way. This is pretty cool. Almost to the summit. It's right there. Almost there. It's honestly, it's not that super strenuous. It's just kind of a climb, but it's not that bad. So I can't wait to see the top. Alright, it's now 10:55 and I'm here on top of Lafayette and I'm gonna eat a snack because I earned it. There's a lot of fog, but I don't see anything that looks like storm clouds yet, but it's so gorgeous out here. So I guess I'll give a little update. So I wasn't gonna make a documentary, like finish the documentary, because I don't know if Kathleen and Amber are filming where they're at or if they're gonna add their perspective, which would be cool. But this morning we split up the group. We looked at the forecast yesterday and there's likely to be thunderstorms around like 2:30 or 3 in the afternoon today. So Amber and Kathleen didn't want to be on any balds during that time. and they were afraid that the terrain would slow us down, so we wouldn't be able to like get off the balls in time. But I didn't want to bail. I felt pretty confident that we could get over them in time and take cover below tree line, and also I just didn't want to bail. That the risk, you know, when you're out backpacking, it's always risk versus reward. Some people have a higher risk level, some people higher reward, you know, that's fine, but I didn't come 18 hours away from home and plan for at least 2 years for this trip to bail out, and I'm really glad, right now at least, that I did not bail out. So I'm gonna finish the documentary because this place is way too cool to not have a documentary for, and we already have the first half. So anyway, that's what's up right now. All right, I'll check in with you in a little bit. So I don't know if y'all can see this, but it looks like, you see over there, that white thing, right there is a hut. And there's something else up there, I don't really know, but that's where the trail's heading. So actually I'm pretty sure that this is Lafayette and the other one was Lincoln, but whatever, it's still only 11:30, so. And I see Garfield over there. That's where I'm going tonight, so cool, cool. Look at all those hikers making their way up to Lafayette. Very nice. Alright, so it's about 12:15 right now, and over there, that peak hidden behind the clouds is Garfield, and that's where the shelter is, where I'm going to be camping tonight. I should have about 3.5 miles left, according to that sign. So, this is really pretty. Alright, let's keep cracking before the storm gets here. Alright, it's 1 o'clock and I made it to the intersection with the Skookumchuck Trail. The intersection at the Garfield Trail is where the shelter is, so it says 2.8. So 2.8 to go for the rest of the day, but it might be a difficult 2.8 because I gotta go way down the valley and then come way back up to Garfield. So here I go. I'm back in the forest again. Still have a couple miles to go to get to Garfield shelter, but it's only 1:40 right now, so getting pretty close. From what I understand, what somebody just told me is that we just descended 1,000 feet off of Lafayette, and then we have to go up like 700 from the lowest point to get up to Garfield. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what somebody just told me, so that doesn't sound too bad. Okay, I'm taking a break. It's 3 o'clock, and I'm still making my way to Garfield. The trail is right there. It's always that last, like, 1.5 miles that gets you. And I know pretty soon I'm gonna have to start climbing back up again, so I'm just kind of taking a break before then, because I'm doing good on time. The weather looks good at the moment. There's been no rain, no dark clouds, no thunder, which, you know, there could have been. Nobody knew what the weather was going to be like. But, yeah, taking a rest. Almost there, but it's probably gonna be a tough end to the day because I'm already beat. After we came down off Lafayette, we descended so far, and then for maybe I don't know, half a mile to 3/4 of a mile, I got to do some of my least favorite kind of hiking, which is straight downhill, continuous, super slippery, wet rock faces. And even there were some other thru hikers I had to let pass, and one of them was like, "You gotta scoot on your boot." And the other guy was like, "No, I don't do that." But they ended up doing it, so that's how steep it was. But yeah, almost to Garfield. I made some friends on the trail today. I know some people who are gonna be there when I get there. So, yep, all in all, pretty good. I miss the crew, but you know, I'm glad they made the decision that makes them comfortable. So I hope that they have a good day too and make it back to the car and everything. Maybe find a good place to sleep. So yeah, I'm gonna start moving soon. I'll update you probably when I get to the shelter. I know I said I wasn't gonna update this till I got to the shelter, but just to give you an idea of what it's like strenuous wise to hike in the whites, this is literally the trail. Literally up this side of this giant boulder. Way up there. Alright, let's do it. So I'm getting pretty close to Garfield. That's it up there. The summit, and then you come down just a little bit for the shelter. So, like, 1.5 miles. I know it looks far away, but we're just gonna be going straight up to it. So, I'll be there soon. Is that a thundercloud over there? Doesn't look like it. It's just dark. Okay. Alright, see you at the shelter soon. So, I'm currently really close to Garfield, but there's this cliff, and I'm trying to get up it. The trail is over there, but I just slipped. I took off my pack, so it's not gonna pull me down. It's just kind of slippery. Like, I feel like I could get up there, but I don't know how to get my pack up there. I'm gonna try to just set my pack like right here, get up first, and then maybe pull it up behind me if there's not risk of it like pulling me over. But now I'm bleeding, so that was unfortunate, but maybe this is the last obstacle. This is really dicey. I really just want to get up this. Summit of Garfield. That's that little box I was looking at earlier. Now we made it. Now I just gotta find where the AT goes. Alright, 0.2 miles. That's what I want to see. And that was way more than 3.7. It said 3.9 at the top anyway. These signs are inaccurate, but I think my map is correct. But anyway, I really hope there's still a spot because I'm super hungry and super tired. There's been at least 7 people who passed me who said they were going to Garfield, and that's just from this direction. So I hope there's a spot for me. Okay, it's morning now. I did make it to the shelter last night, Garfield. I didn't want to film there though because there were so many people and I didn't want to be that weirdo person. So I just calculated it. It's about 8.1 miles. Well, 8 now. It's already walked 0.1 down to the water source to Franconia Brook tent site. in half a mile, I'm going to hang a right on Franconia Brook Trail, and I'll be on that for the rest of the day. And then I'm going to meet up with the crew at Franconia Brook tent site tonight, so pretty excited to see them. Alright, I'll take you. This is literally the trail. This is so treacherous, but I'm almost down. It's okay. Okay, I am seriously over this slippery, wet rock going downhill nonsense. I've been going for 30 minutes now, and I still haven't made it to the Franconia Brook Trail, which was supposed to be half a mile away from Garfield. Like, I'm just moving so slow right now, and I'm completely soaked, because sometimes you have no choice but to scoot your boot. So, anyway, I'm so done with this. Alright, so I made it back down to sea level. Not really, we're still at like 2,000 feet. But made it down to the Franconia Brook Trail intersection. That's what it looks like. It looks wet still, but level. So, that's totally cool. I'd be happy if it was like that. So, that's where the AT goes, but I'm going this way. And then somebody yesterday told me that there's this giant waterfall, like 60 feet or something like that. I don't know if he was exaggerating, but maybe I'll get to see that. I don't know if you have to take a side trail, but hopefully I'll get to see the big waterfall. So, here we go. Well, this is actually what the trail is looking like. It's been pretty slow going because everything's really slippery. So I hope it's not like this the whole way, or it's going to take me a long time to do these 8 miles. But I feel like I have a good chance of seeing a moose or a bear or something, because I haven't passed anybody on this trail yet, and it's like super quiet, like eerily quiet out here. So if I'm quiet, I might see something, but I don't know if I want to be quiet, because I don't know if I want to see a bear. But anyway, that's what the trail looks like. This is seriously just like an endless, slightly downhill creek crossing, which is not my forte. I seriously hope it's not like this the entire time. I'm gonna be getting to camp really late tonight. I'm moving so slowly right now. I just really don't want to twist my ankle. Man. That's okay though. We'll make it. So it's not a moose, but I spotted my first critter. Zoom, turn around. It's a frog. And I say frog and not toad because everybody knows that all toads are frogs, but not all frogs are toads. There's my buddy. Alright, see you, little fella. Okay, so this part's pretty cool. Hopefully I've gone down enough now. I'm getting tired of going downhill. So, yeah, this is neat. I bet this is prime moose habitat. So I want to see a moose. That's the goal. Okay, so I made it to the 13 Falls tent site. Just past the trees is the river, and it sounds really big, like powerful and majestic. So this is where the trail goes. So hopefully I'll get to see a waterfall. I'm going to take a little snack break here. It's already 11:50, so I need to hurry it up. But after we made it to the low elevation, like where the stream became the river, it was a pretty nice trail. It was really super muddy, but it was pretty level, and I was able to make good time. So if the rest of it's like that, then I should have no problem getting back to Franconia Brook tent site at a reasonable hour. So.
Missy, we've been looking for you all day, and we can't find you. We think you might come down this trail, but you can't really see the trail in this video. But we don't know, because either you woke up really late and you walked really slow, or you camped somewhere else and you went on a different trail, which is probably what happened. But we started at the parking lot, and then we tried to talk to the caretaker, but he wasn't there. And then we found some stealth sites, and then we came up the trail, but we haven't seen you yet. So we hope you're out there having a good time, and I hope we find you. Goodbye.
Well, The official crossing for the trail is over there. You can see where those rocks are stacked up. But that's like a drop down point that's moving really fast. It looks like most people are crossing right here, and that looks pretty safe to me. I'm just gonna be careful, take it slow. Even if I get washed down the river a little bit, there's a bunch of stuff to catch me. So, yeah, I think I'll be okay. I'm gonna cross. Okay, I made it. I think, honestly, two things that help with the river crossings here are they're really clear, so you can see the bottom, and there's like big rocks that kind of like break up the current a little bit, that you can make sure and strategically like go behind or in front of. But I felt super safe just now, like I wasn't even being pulled at all by the current, so that's good. Look who it is! We found each other. We're at the junction for Bond Cliff, Franconia Brook Trail, and I don't know what that other one is. Yeah, something like that. We gotta.
So it's a good time.
Yes, it's only 3:24, so we're gonna go cross the river, and then hopefully there's still a spot left at Franconia. There probably is. We'll see. But yeah, it's gonna be good.
So I feel like this was a good trip, despite the bad parts. There were bad parts and good parts. And I feel like we all learned a lot. Like, Missy learned how hard it is to hike in the whites, even though she knew how hard it was before. Now she got to experience it. So that was good. She'll know that when she hikes the AT. And we all learned that we have different reasons for hiking and that we make different decisions. But it's okay because we still love each other a lot. And now it's good that we're all back together having a good time at the campsite.
Yay!
Yes, we've been reading some Earl Schaefer. I don't know if we put that in the documentary or not, but we're gonna read some more of his, where is it? Walking with Spring. Right there. So that's gonna be good. And yeah, anybody else want to say something about the trip?
Hiking in the whites is no joke.
It's really not. We only did a little bit of the no joke parts, and it was still no joke.
But
So,
it's worth it though.
Yeah, really beautiful stuff.
Still haven't seen a moose yet.
No, but we did see some moose poop. Maybe we'll include that in a picture. And you can decide if it's actually moose poop or not, because we're not sure. And some big frogs.
And some little frogs.
And some little frogs. And tadpoles. And squirrels.
And a mouse.
And lots of chipmunks.
Oh yeah. Birds.
Birds. A green caterpillar. Amber spotted that. Almost stepped on it.
And coyotes driving in.
Oh yeah, we did see some coyotes. So, if a trip is measured by the amount of animals that we saw, then this is a good one. Because we saw a lot of squirrels. Missy is a caterpillar. Or a mermaid. Caterpillar. She got them wiggly toes. Oh. Just never knows. Oh. Yeah. This little squirrel is eating a mushroom. We came up on him. And he was just like a couple feet away from us. And he scooted away. Made like a racket and then found himself a mushroom. He's one of those little red-tailed squirrels, so we gotta figure out what kind those are. He's looking at us, so he's obviously not that scared. So he's about to jump on our head. What's going on?
I have to hold it.
Why?
Because look, it's gonna go for like a minute and then it's gonna shut off and it's gonna say thank you, have a nice day, and then it wouldn't take my card, and then you have to hit debit first. Like no prompting, you just have to hit debit, you just have to know to do that. Virginians know how to do that. But it's gonna stop in just a second.
So we found out Missy's new trail name. It's Derpy Dwarf. I can't even say it. I can't say it. It's Derpy Dwarf. Yeah, it is. It fits perfectly. If anyone disagrees, they can put it in the comments.
Just because it's accurate.